Welcome to Grand Prix, your go-to channel for the fastest updates in Formula One. We've got 3 hot stories for you, so make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay ahead of the pack. Let's get started. Hello, my friends. This week has brought numerous updates in the world of Formula One, and while many headlines stole the spotlight, one crucial development might have gone unnoticed amid all the excitement. But don't worry, here at Grand Prix, we make sure you never miss a single detail. So, subscribe and turn on notifications because we bring you daily videos packed with the latest F1 news. This week, the FIA released an official statement announcing a series of regulatory adjustments for the 2025 season. One of the most intriguing changes directly impacts the Monaco Grand Prix, an event often criticized for its lack of overtaking opportunities and thrilling action. To make the race more engaging for spectators, Formula One and the FIA have been exploring potential changes to introduce more unpredictability and prevent the Monaco GP from turning into a mere procession of cars through the narrow streets of the Principality. To address this issue, the FIA has now confirmed that for Monaco specifically, the number of mandatory pit stops will be increased. The Formula One Commission has already approved this modification for the upcoming 2025 season, signaling a significant shift in strategy for teams and drivers alike. Providing further insight into this new regulation, Red Bull team principal Christian Horner revealed that instead of the usual single mandatory pit stop, teams will now be required to make at least 2 stops during the Monaco Grand Prix. Moreover, all 3 tire compounds must be used at some point in the race, adding another layer of complexity to the strategy. Even in wet conditions, the regulation will stand, ensuring that teams cannot simply rely on a single change to intermediate or full wet tires to complete the race. This rule aims to prevent the outcome of the weekend from being decided solely by Saturday's qualifying session, which has historically been the case at Monaco due to the difficulty of overtaking on the narrow circuit. Discussions were also held regarding possible modifications to the track layout to facilitate overtaking, but since such changes would require extensive restructuring, the idea has been shelved for now. Instead, Formula One's long-term vision involves gradually reducing car dimensions over the coming years, ultimately making it easier to have competitive racing on tight circuits like Monaco. Additionally, alternative solutions such as new aerodynamic regulations and changes to car weight distribution are being explored to improve wheel-to-wheel racing on street circuits. Many drivers and teams have already begun to share their thoughts on this change. Some believe that increasing the number of pit stops will make strategy a more decisive factor, potentially opening up the race to different outcomes. Others, however, argue that unless the track itself is redesigned or cars become significantly smaller, the fundamental issue of limited overtaking opportunities will remain, making it difficult for this new regulation to drastically alter the racing spectacle at Monaco. While some fans are excited to see how the changes play out, others remain skeptical, questioning whether this is merely a temporary fix rather than a long-term solution to Monaco's racing limitations. Still, it is an interesting move from the FIA, signaling a willingness to experiment with race formats to enhance viewer engagement and improve competition. With all these changes in mind, what's your take on the new pit stop rules? Do you think that making 2 mandatory stops will create a more action-packed race? Or will overtaking still remain an issue? Should Monaco's layout be altered? Or do you agree with the FIA's approach of adjusting the technical regulations first? Let us know your thoughts as we continue to break down the latest developments in the world of Formula One. Hey, my friends, the 2025 season is just around the corner, and next week we will finally get to see the preseason testing. This will be the first opportunity to see all the 2025 cars side by side, with new updates emerging every day. So, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single detail. One of the most intriguing updates from this past weekend revolves around the Alpine team. In a cost-saving move, Alpine has confirmed that it will be reusing some of its 2024 chassis for the 2025 car. Since the chassis is one of the most expensive components in an F1 car's development, the team decided to repurpose last year's models that are still in good condition and align well with the design of the new car. This decision reflects Alpine's realistic expectations for the upcoming season, as they are not aiming for victories or titles in 2025. Instead, They plan to allocate more of their financial and technical resources toward the development of their 2026 car, which is already in progress. On this topic, the site Planet F1 has confirmed that Alpine currently has at least 4 additional 2024 chassis ready for use. These will be rotated among their drivers throughout the season, ensuring efficiency and sustainability while allowing the team to concentrate on their long-term strategy. Alpine believes that by 2026, they will be in a much stronger position to compete for points, podiums, and potentially even race wins or a title challenge. Their focus is set on the major regulatory changes coming in 2026, hoping that an early start on development will give them a crucial advantage. This strategic approach raises an interesting debate. On one hand, it's a smart financial move that allows Alpine to maximize its resources for the new regulations, giving them a better chance to compete at a high level in the future. On the other hand, some might argue that neglecting 2025 could lead to a demotivating season for the team and its drivers, potentially affecting team morale and sponsorship interest. Some experts suggest that while it makes sense to prioritize 2026, Alpine should still aim for a competitive 2025 season to maintain momentum. A strong midfield performance this year could attract potential investors and keep the team's reputation intact. On the other hand, the argument for a long-term focus holds weight, as 2026 marks a new era of regulations, and a well-prepared team could take a major leap forward when the new rules come into play. Fans are also divided on the matter. Some believe that Alpine's decision is a pragmatic one, recognizing their current limitations and focusing on a fresh start when the technical landscape changes. Others feel that every season matters, and disregarding a year's worth of development could put them at an even greater disadvantage in the long run, especially if other midfield teams make significant progress in 2025. Ultimately, Alpine's approach is a bold one. It remains to be seen whether this decision will pay off or if it will result in a frustrating campaign for the team. Their long-term ambitions are clear, but will their patience be rewarded? What do you think about Alpine's decision? Do you believe they are making the right call by prioritizing 2026 development? Or should they focus more on making their 2025 car as competitive as possible? Let us know your thoughts as we continue to analyze the latest developments in the world of Formula One. Ferrari is set to have one of the strongest driver pairings, if not the strongest, of the 2025 season, with Charles Leclerc now joined by 7-time world champion Lewis Hamilton. This combination is bound to bring excitement, strategy, and competition to the team. So what are your predictions for this duo? Do you think they will work well together, or could their partnership create challenges for Ferrari? This week, Leclerc was asked about whether he feels intimidated or concerned about having Hamilton as his teammate and how he is approaching this challenge. His response was clear and confident. "I have great motivation to prove what I am capable of. He is the most successful driver in the sport's history, and having him as my teammate is a huge motivation. Beating Hamilton will be one of the biggest challenges of my career." Leclerc seems to acknowledge the difficulties ahead, but he remains motivated and composed about the situation. His determination to rise to the challenge is evident, but the reality of racing alongside a driver of Hamilton's caliber in equal machinery is a test few have faced successfully. This season will not only test Leclerc's skills, but also reveal how Ferrari manages two highly competitive drivers. Will team dynamics remain stable, or could internal rivalries emerge? Historically, teams with two top-tier drivers have faced challenges in managing expectations, race strategies, and potential conflicts on and off the track. How Ferrari navigates these dynamics will be crucial to their championship aspirations. On the other hand, Hamilton's arrival brings a wealth of experience and a relentless drive for success. Having spent years dominating the grid with Mercedes, he is no stranger to high-pressure situations. His ability to extract the best performance from a car, combined with his strategic mindset, could be a major asset for Ferrari. However, adapting to a new team, car, and environment could present initial hurdles. Fans and analysts alike are divided on how this partnership will unfold. Some believe Hamilton's presence will push Leclerc to new heights, forcing him to elevate his game and refine his racecraft. Others argue that internal competition could lead to tensions within the team, especially if Ferrari finds itself in a title fight where team orders and strategic decisions become crucial. The relationship between teammates can be one of the most defining aspects of a Formula One season. If managed correctly, the duo could become an unstoppable force, helping Ferrari reclaim championship glory. However, if tensions rise and conflicts emerge, it could lead to internal struggles that ultimately harm the team's performance. Ferrari will need to establish clear guidelines on team orders and expectations to avoid unnecessary friction. Additionally, the performance of the SF25 car will be a crucial factor. If Ferrari provides a car capable of challenging for the championship, both Leclerc and Hamilton will have the opportunity to prove themselves in direct competition. However, if the car is not up to par, the internal battle could shift towards who maximizes results with a suboptimal package, adding another layer of complexity to the season. Ultimately, the 2025 season will provide the answers. Will Leclerc rise to the challenge and assert himself as Ferrari's leading driver, or will Hamilton's experience and championship mindset give him the upper hand? How will Ferrari balance their strategy with two world-class talents competing in the same machinery? What do you think? Will Leclerc thrive under the pressure, or will Hamilton's presence make it even more challenging for him? Will Ferrari be able to handle the competition between its two-star drivers? Share your thoughts on this highly anticipated Ferrari duo and how their partnership might shape the upcoming season.